chapter, we're going to cover a little bit about vendor relations and how and why that is a very important aspect of your B2B business. As we all know, unless you are, even if you are a manufacturer of any type of goods, vendor relations are super important. This is something that you should be paying attention to. You should be kind of, I guess, taking care of these suppliers, making sure that they're providing the product for you in a timely manner, that you're paying your bills on time, so that everybody in this supply chain is happy and making their margins, making their deadlines, and making sales. So, what is supply chain, and what is the main goal of supply chain? So supply chain is anybody pretty much that you're doing business with. So, it's going to be you as a middleman that is a wholesaler. You're selling to the retailers, they sell to consumers. On the other side, you're buying your finished goods or even raw material, raw components from the suppliers. You're making them into your own product and then pushing that product down further down the supply chain. So everybody needs to be in cohesion. Everybody needs to be in a good communication in order for everybody in a supply chain to function well and prosper. But the main goal of supply chain management is to, as it says here, holistically look at the entire supply chain from suppliers through the consumer and review all of these areas so that all of the activities are maximized and the value is achieved for anybody involved. So hopefully in the next few slides, we'll show you how can you achieve that harmony so that you can prosper and thrive in your business. Yes, I love this graphic. It is all about the relationships when you are in business to business industry, okay? If you're selling to other businesses, that means that you are that place where they come to or a source of truth, source of inspiration, a source that gives them great products that they will make money on. So you have to make sure that you have a fantastic relationship with your buyers, but also on the other end, with your suppliers. So these would be the people that are providing you with the goods that you're selling, that you need in order to function in your business. It's very different from service-based business where you possibly learn the skill, put it in some type of format where you can have deliverables and then sell your skill, your expertise, and sell your service to other people or other businesses. With product-based business, is it much harder? You are in that, I want to say, a sweet spot, and it's happily stuck in the middle between the buyer that you're catering to and providing that superb customer service, as well as taking care of your suppliers. So here's a few tips on how to take care of your suppliers so they can take care of you. Number one thing to consider when you are trying to build a well-functioning relationship with your supplier is communication, ways to communicate. So think about, how do they like to be approached? Do they like a phone call? Is it okay to just email them so you have some kind of record of it? Maybe it's both. How do you like to also communicate? Just make sure that it is an open line of communication and that you are giving your suppliers some of these things. And when I say these things, it's a few things that they need to know about your business in order to serve you better, okay? Without you, they have no business. Without them, you don't have any business. As I'm going to mention later, you can find more new customers. You should be always prospecting, but it's very hard to find a good, reliable supplier that can continue to grow with you and support you in your journey. So providing your suppliers any type of list of dates that, let's say, your business is going to be closed, or if you're having or expecting any large orders, super important. Please make sure that they know who is who also in the company. So when the email comes from your accounting department or your, I don't know, HR or anybody, that these suppliers know, okay, this is legit email. These are the people that I already do business with. They're communicating with me. I'm pretty sensitive when it comes to notifying suppliers of any large orders that I'm about to receive. I think these type of communications need to happen days, weeks, even months before we embark on this campaign of making sure that we're actually getting more and more of these business to business or wholesale orders. So even before I decide that I want to scale and I want to, offer more goods to other businesses, I really need to talk to my current suppliers and see, can they match my energy? Can they support via capacity? Can they produce enough of those widgets that I need from them in order to put together my product and sell it to my buyers? So ask them, and if that's a no, or if you see they're iffy, they just don't have capacity, they might be in a small space with the dated equipment, whatever it is, maybe it took you to a certain phase and now you need something better to take you to the next phase of your business where you can thrive, where you can grow and thrive. So whatever that looks like, however that looks like to you, maybe you need a backup. Maybe you need a backup to the backup. So 2 or 3 suppliers for exactly the same thing, either your finished product or one component of your product that you need in order to put a finished product together. Also, telling your suppliers any type, of information such as, relocation or additional location that you're going to open or changing banks, whatever it is, make sure that they know. Let them become your kind of like a partner in crime, because they're the ones that are a crucial part of supply chain. Without them, we have nothing to sell. And then, like I said, we can always find new buyers. We will prospect, we will put a sales and marketing plan together to find new customers or find new buyers, but we really need to, number one, take care of our suppliers. So here's a couple more tips on how to improve the communication with your vendors/suppliers. If you are a larger company, and when I say that, if you're not just a solopreneur, let's say if you have 2 or 3, 5, 20, 30, 100 people in your company, it is super important that your suppliers get to meet these key people. Maybe not kind of like your admin or anybody that it's not directly communicating with the suppliers, but anybody that is, please make sure, and I think it's a good practice to just introduce them, tell them, welcome aboard, this is our suppliers, this is their ways they like to be communicated with, and make sure that even if somebody leaves your company, that your suppliers know that person moved on, they're no longer with us. Please do not accept anything or any type of communication from them, because they're not representing my company anymore. So anything, even if you have a change in management or ownership, please make sure that your suppliers know, so you're not liable for some stuff that happens beyond your control. Having them know about your company, know what you do and how you do it, and who is that authority in your companies to speak for you if you're not the only one that is speaking, buying these products or going into the supplier meetings. Make sure personnel changes are communicated directly to your suppliers. I would say this is the second most important rule to go by, and that is to abide by the payment terms that you set up with your supplier. The stuff that you negotiate in the beginning can be renegotiated and see if maybe they can give you a little better terms. And when I say that, okay, what type of a preferred payment method are they accepting? Maybe they want a credit card. That's totally fine. They will keep your credit card every time you buy from them. Maybe they'll slide or punch in the numbers and charge you for the goods according to the invoice that they issued. Maybe they want check upon delivery, COD, or check on delivery, or possibly they'll give you net 30. So that means you're going to pick up the merchandise, but then you're going to pay in 30 days. Whatever it is, make sure that obviously it's in your best interest to prolong the days so that you have some room to make sales by the time you have to pay that invoice. But whatever it is, please honor that. If you think you're going to be late, please don't notify them the day of. Like, kind of try to strategically plan and see. We don't want to make these people mad, especially if they're just like one supplier and I cannot get my items from anybody else. This is the supplier that I'm using. So think about, how does that look like? And can you possibly invest in something called EDI? EDI stands for Electronic Data Interchange. It's kind of like just a third-party platform where maybe your supplier is going to send you, you're sending your supplier a purchase order, and they send you the goods with the invoice, and then you can pay the invoice over that platform. So EDI stands for Electronic Data Interchange. They are not free. They are for bigger companies, so they can have it all streamlined, so you don't receive purchase orders via email where they can get lost or something like that. So it's a third-party place for you to communicate with these with each other. And last but not least, showing your appreciation on a regular basis. Please do not be one of those vendors that just sends a Christmas card at Christmas time. That's fine too. Don't ignore that. Not in a holiday time, let's say. But please make sure that you're also expressing your gratitude throughout the whole year. Even if they just push your order one day earlier, maybe they accepted a large order and they fulfilled to 100% capacity. That's a beautiful thing. Many, we all have different type of businesses, and many things come up and many issues come up in our respective businesses. While you're in one industry, you really don't know, unless you've been there, done that, how the other industry functions. So you have to, without knowing how does your supplier function, although I definitely recommend, if you are in a situation or if you're capable, to visit the facility where your merchandise is coming from, please do. So you're going to gain more of a understanding and gratitude for everything those people are doing for you as a company, even if it's just transactional. Please do yourself a favor and do that. So just kind of like thank them for the dedication to your own business. Without them, you wouldn't have the business. Recognize them maybe on their anniversaries. When did you start doing business? When was the first purchase order? Maybe that's a thing to acknowledge, right? But especially if they expedite the order for you, or like I said, if they do some kind of small favor. I've done a lot of business with the government entities, and I really couldn't give them any gifts at all. Please think about what would be appropriate gift for your supplier. Yes, you're giving them purchases, you're giving them business. That's okay. Anybody can buy from anybody, right? It's a free market. But go above and beyond, recognize them, even if it's just recognizing the people, not necessarily the buyer that you talk to, okay? But the person that is processing your order. Maybe the guy or girl that is working in a warehouse floor that is packing these orders for you. That if you know who these people are, even if you can just like call them and say, hey, thank you for packing that order. I know it was large. I know you guys did it on time. I'm so super grateful. Thank you so much. And make sure you address them by their first name, just so that you show your gratitude so they can do more of the beautiful stuff for you. Maybe even go above and beyond. When people get bombarded by business, meaning purchase orders are coming in, honestly, everybody looks the same. You need to differentiate yourself as one of their favorite customers. So be that favorite customers. Think about what is the appropriate way to gift them. Maybe it's some lunch or food or donuts for the staff and for something else for the buyer. Whatever you think it is, whatever you can kind of come up with that it's appropriate for your industry, for your business, please do that. I highly encourage you to think about how you can show your appreciation on a regular basis.